A day late, but still great. Thank you for tuning into this brand new Round 2 Wrestling podcast here on the 16th of March, 2023. I am your host, SlimmDa KID, and I personally want to thank you for tuning into this brand new podcast. For those of you who have never listened to Round 2 Round 2 Wrestling is very similar to a news program. We have 4 simple, easy-to-digest segments. We listen to the pro wrestling rumor mill and the what-ifs and maybes going on in the world. We listen to something a bit more real and talk about pro wrestling news. We have title matches and those results here exclusively for you, the wrestler, here on Round 2 Wrestling. And then we will conclude this broadcast with a fan and producer favorite, Did You Know? Did You Know are little bits of information and facts about the wrestling world that you may or may not have known about. But this is the beginning of the episode, so we're going to kick things off by taking a listen to the pro wrestling rumor mill. All right, CNBC was told by multiple people in the know that WWE is, quote, set to meet with potential buyers for the company next month in preparation for first-round bids. So it does sound like the sale of WWE is going through, or at least that has been the consistent rumor ever since that particular news-breaking story came out that the company was up for sale. WrestleNomics' Brandon Thurston noted that WWE's appearance on this list of sports wagering registrants with the Indiana Gaming Commission, quote, may or may not be related to the story that WWE is trying to legalize gambling on scripted match results. This is the most far-fetched rumor so far this day. I find it very, very difficult to believe that anybody would legalize scripted matched wrestling and award money for anything. But again, you never know. This is America and this is 2023. Zero News heard that some other names being discussed for the WWE Hall of Fame include Batista, William Regal, Michelle McCool, Lex Luger, Demolition, IRS, and Lillian Garcia. The Observer says WWE is in talks to run a, quote, major stadium show, end quote, in Western Australia. Perth is the likely location for this event. Andrew Zarian said on the Mat Men podcast that Forbidden Door 2 is definitely happening and will likely be June 25th. This is no longer a rumor. This was confirmed last night on AEW Dynamite. Forbidden Door 2 is most definitely taking place later in June. Wrestling Observer Radio's Brian Alvarez was given the impression that Wardlow's car theft story is a shoot, and AEW then decided to turn it into a work afterwards. This is something not too unusual in wrestling. They take some real event and twist it just a little bit to make it their own. However, we here at Round 2 Wrestling do not condone thievery in any sort of way and hope that Wardlow's belongings, TNT title, and otherwise punishments are given out justly to those who broke in and stole from the former TNT champion. All right, that is it for pro wrestling rumors. There's nothing else to speculate about, so let's jump over to something a bit more actual factual. This is pro wrestling news. A new report from Mat Men's Andrew Zarian notes that Warner Bros. Discovery is giving AEW a third weekly TV show. Zarian teased that the time slot will be Saturdays at 6:05 p.m., but that was not confirmed. This would be the legendary time slot that WCW Saturday Night had on TBS. There's also no word on the name of the new series, but as noted, AEW filed to trademark the AEW Collision name in February for use on a pro wrestling show. Clarksville Today is reporting that former TNA star Crimson, real name Anthony Mayweather, was arrested and jailed for violating an active order of protection. Mayweather was previously jailed after headbutting his wife back in 2016. Scott D'Amore promoted to president of Impact Wrestling. Drawing on more than 20 years of experience in the combat sports and boxing realm, D'Amore will oversee Impact Wrestling and play a key role in building strategic partnerships and relationships with leading sponsors, brands, agents, and athletes in the industry. This is a long time coming. Scott D'Amore has been a force to be reckoned with on the independent scene for a while now. I think Impact made the right choice here by promoting him to president of operations and letting him oversee the company that he helped build from the ground up. CM Punk has been absent from wrestling due to an injury to his triceps and underwent surgery to address it. Him being suspended also had a role to play in his absence. In his Instagram story, CM Punk was seen working out at the gym with the song Honor Never Dies by Hatebreed playing in the background. This has caused fans of Ring of Honor to start speculating that the straight-edged savior might just make a return to Ring of Honor. Kylan King has signed a contract with Impact Wrestling. King has more than 50 appearances for AEW since June 2020 and has also worked for New Japan Pro Wrestling, NWA, and others. Superstar Billy Graham, real name Wayne Coleman, is still in the hospital as he fights to get better. His wife told this via Facebook, noted that he is still dealing with a lot of health issues, and due to the infection that he had in his head, he is deaf in both of his ears. ESPN reported this afternoon or yesterday afternoon that Japanese legend the Great Muta would be inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame, confirming PWInsider.com's report from last week. Ric Flair will be inducting Muta into the 2023 Hall of Fame class on 3/31 in Los Angeles, California during WrestleMania week. All right, that is the conclusion of pro wrestling news. A little bit to think about for the next week, but this next segment is a little full. We had a good number of titles on the line across the world, and we here at Round 2 Wrestling have those exclusive results here for you, the fan. So without further delay, let's jump right into those title matches. You gotta love the bell. NXT Tag Team Champions Gallus defeated Pretty Deadly to retain the NXT Tag Team titles. AEW All-Atlantic Champion Orange Cassidy defeated Jay Lethal to retain the AEW All-Atlantic Championship. This would be the last time this title would be called the All-Atlantic Championship. After last night, this is now called the International Championship. Powerhouse Hobbs defeated TNT champion Wardlow to become the new AEW TNT champion. Impact Knockouts World Champion Mickie James defeated Giselle Shaw to retain the Impact Knockouts World Championship. Ring of Honor World TV Champion Samoa Joe defeated Tony Deppen to retain the Ring of Honor World Television Championship. Ring of Honor Women's World Champion Athena defeated Willow Nightingale to retain the Ring of Honor Women's World Championship. Ring of Honor Pure Champion Wheeler Yuta defeated Timothy Thatcher to retain the Ring of Honor Pure Championship. MLW Middleweight Champion Lince Dorado defeated La Estrella to retain the MLW Middleweight Championship. Samoan SWAT Team defeated MLW World Tag Team Champions Hustle and Power to become the new MLW World Tag Team Champions. NWA World TV Champion Thom Latimer defeated Rhett Titus to retain the NWA World TV title. IWS Women's World Champion Melanie Havoc defeated GCW's Allie Katch to retain the IWS Women's World Championship. IWS World Heavyweight Champion Benjamin Tull defeated GCW's Tony Deppen to retain the IWS World Heavyweight Championship. AAA Trios Champion NGD defeated Rey Escorpion and La Facción Ingobernable via no contest to retain the AAA Trios Championship. All right, a good number of titles on the line. Be sure to listen to this particular episode of Round 2 Wrestling again in case you missed any of those title matches. We are at the end of this particular broadcast, and we are going to conclude Round 2 Wrestling with a fan and producer favorite, Did You Know? Did You Know are little bits of information and facts about the pro wrestling world that you may or may not have known about. Did you know Marcus Buff Bagwell had a brief appearance in Hulk Hogan's 1989 movie No Holds Barred? Did you know Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson created his own energy drink in 2021 called ZOA? Did you know Mean Gene Okerlund's final interview in WWE was with AJ Styles on January 22nd, 2018? Did you know in 1993, Jackie Moore became the first female to be inducted in the Pro Wrestling Illustrated 500? Did you know Cora Livingston is the first woman to be recognized as a world champion? Did you know Impact World Champion The Walking Weapon Josh Alexander wears headgear because he legitimately had his ear nearly torn off his head in a 2013 wrestling match? Did you know Sting wrestled his first and only match in Mexico against El Mazizas in 2011? Did you know Brian Pillman's trademark sunglasses read "Screw You" on the lenses? Did you know Jerry the King Lawler has wrestled at least one match every year for the last 53 years since his pro debut in 1970 because of his recent medical condition? I do believe that this streak will permanently sideline the King, and it is now over with. Did you know, according to the late Jim Barnett, both Hulk Hogan and Andre Giant made $750,000 apiece for their match at WrestleMania 3? All right, that is the conclusion of Round 2 Wrestling. I am SlimmDa KID, and once again, I personally want to thank you for tuning in to this podcast. Be sure to tune in next week, where I will bring you more news, more rumors, and more results from the world of professional wrestling. Round 2 Wrestling is brought to you by SlimmDa KID and Spreaker.com.